Abusia ye free one ye de ni ekremo e wo court ni mu nsensem na court mu nsensem no na ba bi to dwa se enei nchinwa hyew bi ama ne homne so e wo lawyer ni a wo gina ho e de maka ne chief executive director de national signal bureau na afi attorney general na tena ye kese no na nya asem ketwa kura ni nyina ne se wo mo filing krata tententen ya ekrem se esi kwan se judge ni a wo tena dwa no so no se bi wontimi ntwa nsem no so bi mu lawyer Samuel Tachia what they told judge ya what ya kunya nanim se beya asem no omuntu nheda na womo ede eson aba womo kyerebe se nke beya judge ya what na case ni so no kura no ma ne ntena case ni mu na wo ni nsem no entoa so ebi mu eti ka case no Supreme Court they share next week na nam saye so ama ene ntiamu ahodo ebekoso bia na asese de obekukuru nsem no de akwa akosie bia no wakukuru de akoso nanso ebeto dwase de womde nsem no etintim no ya attorney general so atena ye nom omsu pagya mu kirem se womote ase sa na enye yie na ye hwese ye ne ankasa ye court hima ama brako ampofo ebetwetwe nkomo ewo sansem wehu asem no ye se ye frɛ witness begina mu ni second witness no nya che se lawyer atachia na asem no ye na se bufu se nso se asem no ana no wompese obeto aso biemu esori free court wo ya wo no na esie no ama brako ampofo aba bedru ha sei ama na apomboko de
ya nyame adom bibia boko
ye da nyankopon so wase se wawaji wadwa ensem wada ya nimu se esie ne de okokopie mu wo ho no lawyer Samuel Tachia aba beto dwa se ebra case de mukukuru ye National Signal Bureau ye former chief executive director no case no ye so opani wo fa ne bag ye wo si case ne mapon wa pon sese
ya pon a wa pon nyina ne se ebra ye fra asem na no pe ne baby aye do wo sa case ni se the second prosecution witness PW2 and ye twa ne tia e friend e so betina adakam na attorney general so ye toa ni evidence in chief na all man no eso na bra ye fra asem na pe na lawyer edema kwabena edu Boahene lawyer Samuel Tachia sorry stre court ne said no kre wako file motion prohibition with Supreme Court na court ne dia hye next week Wednesday
na say ye o si kwan
so temwafo na ote asem ne so no onya abotre na nkrata ode koma Supreme Court data ye de ama no next week 28th which is Wednesday and also Thursday nti na this day na ode to court na anim nyina ne se osre court no ene de ka court no ntu asem no emfa nhye next week say ye Wednesday ne Thursday obeba Thursday and Friday crowd sha obeba eno na attorney general so oba pani ofiri ho eba nso chese da bi o emra bempa na wo court mra mu kire se so ko file application na se motion wo Supreme Court a ye nyintum na ye ntu asem ne nheda se wo na udi nkuguo wo ho a ensunsuanso oben ne benya wasem ne so na akọ na adi nkunim nso a ensunsuanso oben ne benya wasem nso ene efa ne efa ene ne ehu se mra wo ho ti we koti na we akoti na we aka na we aka na we aka omo kan ya bedu baby no te mo afọ ne se me sorry na makwa aba na me de me ruling aba o se mo afọ ne ma be se ma aduasa ene okọhye mu no bai oba no betro ni ruling ocho ruling ni wie ya obekan no ena attorney general so oba pani a ofi oba esi yanka chese na nugu asem so a wo kan wan kan wi to te mo afọ ne ma ne kwan to te mo afọ ne ma ne kwan emo cite different cases lawyer Tachia so ko cite case honorable Kennedy Japan versus the Republic and also the ncheche mu by my court ni hwema na intunuasio ne nyina ne say Supreme Court on 2 different occasions afa prohibition aka say se media eco court high court na se duru baabi na mesusu se esi na yo temuafo asɛm na odi no oni ne ye mehu se oya ye bias etia ese me de ko Supreme Court na me ko ka che court se temuafo no te ma asɛm ne so no me mpɛ so tena ma asɛm ne so biem nti bia munyi ne fi so ana se monkyerɛ ye kwan baako Supreme Court aka se saa bre ni du a ese so temuafo ne twɛn
Okay.
na Supreme Court kasa wie ansa na wato aso eno ye one case
Okay.
another case nso obi nso de call court na Supreme Court ya kro ya say waso na ka wa asem enti they say no temuafo no obi beka say waka mfimfini eno se emra no edamabam enti the Supreme Court mienu na ka ba akopɛ no wama two different distinction e wasem ba akunu me wo discretion me discretion ne say samo atachia wonsam ade akoma Supreme Court no ye nka ye ewom si ama date me bato atwene asem ne ye nto aso ene na no na court ne ka say ye nto aso no ye frɛ odanse ni otoso mienu no eso metena dakam o sorry say oba apɛ na lawyer samo atachia ene obi kan say ntoraje ahu so mu nyina apie efi court dem ho nyina osesa ne nkrata na okacho temu afon say baby adu ni di adwuma mintimi no nto aso enti me kɔ na me sra okwan say me kɔ no temu afon say o sra me kwan say wo kɔ sɛn wo na ade wa asɛm ha ye de wa ba court o kan ti na etete wo no wo mu nyina ate wo na so sɔre akwa me de sɔre kwa me ye madwuma
na je so pani a wo begina mama ne te wo
on na yere kwabena du bwan ne yere ne third accused person ni nyina ate wo na lawyer Samu Atachia ene osɔre no sesa ne nkrata ehye ne motuom a lawyer for be enum wo mu nyina ene wo mu nyina ne gyina hɔ no o hwɛ video back na wo mu pie ya wo mu ba tentente mu ma ne meme nyina oh ya me nka sɛ ya bufom edu court dem ne ye argument dia ene wo hu sɛ lawyer di bi kasa ne kon hu ntini utimi kan ni nyina esan sɛ kasa meto otemuafo na asum eno ne ye gyina so e de ama ruling na nasa verdict no enti ne wo ka no wanka na nibre so ne akukuduro so na wo na akɔbɔ legonfo brafo ni bi wo hɔ dia ene wan hwe ya na ya oka enti ene owie ya no sesa ne nkrata e de hye ne motom eno temuafo nsa wo na wo so wo kɔ me de me stop e o wo betimi akɔ na emo mo kwakra o client ne de so mo ti we ye beto asɛm ne so ene ye frɛ maami no kɔtena dakam no start ya ogusu o ma na evidence in chief na ena kwabena du Boahene pagya ne nsa no so temuafo no korɛ brofo na mo ka brofo no meti na emu I put it to you any baby anka objection beba no temuafo we de wadaroma anka hummobo na anka asɛm ne entru nhyeda
me lawyer na ekoi
me lawyer na sorry koi me nso meti a minti me nkɔ minti me ni nachi sense me accused person me nya corner declare me wanted a maso be ye shinti me sro no temuafo nse papa wo na akɔfa ne sɛ wo lawyer wo na wo tumi ɛsɛ obeyi na di ana so obeka se omra me ma osema aduasa 30 minutes kona ko frɛ no me study case ni down case ni de ne ebeka ko frɛ no opa yi na di opa fa lawyer foforo bra ne opese oyo na emu me ma osema aduasa so na ko frɛ no on frɛ ni so na ko frɛ lawyer foforo dem e na court ni sori no wura mu ene papa pie ye ni nani ho ancho ni phone tua na so frɛ ye call you anko e no san betena ase obetena ase na esasem ne yeto aso yes ye beto aso ana eji aso ye oba pani ofi oba esi yanka esre court ni se ono kra no case bi wo court foforo time na so nti we de osre court ni se we de court ni ntu nhyeda nti interview ye na lawyer Atachia ye no opie ye na asem no kra ne ye mekọ ene edi na chiba ne ne di nkomo bisa ne se dem potinti no se waja ne client no all ban so one friend the client na ni na chi ene waja na sikoto na enti enchire mo de mai
okay
it's okay
where's your guy where is he call him
Counsel, good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes. Why have you abandoned the proceedings today?
I've been in the court since 9 o'clock as scheduled by the judge. We didn't see the face of the Attorney General. Other cases were being adjourned. We were waiting until all the cases were cleared, giving an impression that, look, this case is what matters to the judge the most. Now, yesterday, I filed a motion for prohibition in the Supreme Court, saying that we are not comfortable that this judge will give us justice. I brought it to the attention of the judge. I also raised an issue that we should adjourn the case and abide the outcome of the application to the Supreme Court. The case is just next week in the Supreme Court. The judge is saying no, he won't grant us the adjournment, and that he is ready to continue the case. That's why the judge is in an ambulance mood to continue the case and cannot wait for the Supreme Court for 1 week. The list might to be desired. And I'm caught between the rock and the hard place. How? The ambivalence that you want to disqualify a judge from hearing the case and you sitting to continue the case. I cannot answer in the Supreme Court, so I need to leave the chamber. And then, leave him to do what he wants to do best. That's why I've left the court.
But are your client not going to be worried about you abandoning him?
Because your client is still...
Well, my client is there. I know he can't do any legal work for himself, but they should be glad that the lawyers are saying that they can't continue with the case. They could have also gone out of the court, but they are accused persons, because they agree with me. But because they are accused persons, they can't get out of the court. That's why they are there. Because they are accused, but not that they endorse what the judge did.
If you go to the Supreme Court, we are not preempting, and
Yeah, I say, lawyer Samuel attaching, also known to me for so High Court judge and say, 1 in 2, say Supreme Court near Waka, and no, internet or dear seal. Now, so court in the chair say, or no dear, Urakabne du Boahene, one of a lawyer, one telling a lawyer, Uncle Fan. It is all be permanent lawyer cofa for and no one of penny de Yamea Duma, who quaid him 28. Yes, I ever could share court. Said lawyer Samuel attaching a beba, said one, and you drew her. You better baby.
Said next week, Yan won't answer.
Oh, next week, ya answer, and you share.
You're a quabna, a Boahene, what can say, brand lawyer no coin.
The lawyer no coin, and our court and say, oh no, auntie boy, brofono duty, ye can be beauty, I say, Nemunka, ye can be beer, and Branebecca say, aha, me objective to now, onim, and no answer, evidence in chief, you know, onipa nebema kwa, crata when ye debema say, yen tender, second saying, wonim, court to brofono dear, when ya one day. A signal bureau brofodi ankote nti na osere court ne pa ene opie na na etrom odetena ne kam ne iri nyina na etipa okoy nti ne lawyer de meje de say bia wa free ha wokodu fie no one ne lawyer be kasa na 28 no wasan be pie mo court nti ya na say ene lawyer attach ya che say high court judge emfa Supreme Court mra nya adwuma dia ene wafa ne bag a che ne moto mo kofie ampa no ja ne client ne so esi court dem mo.
It's in the case in almost in the bay.
Yami adma 28. Ukade di enim. Yebesina ko biu.
Ama, yebedasi.
Miso medasi ya.
Abusua for na chese ama brakwa mpofo ye court him anu no na waba be kire ye mu no lawyer attach ya said ya sem na ye no pa de want judge no ma ni asem no ntino minim say wo kopa che wo kire ho de na chese ye nsem pi say e bia ne client e kopa ne chewa mana san ba next week no na chese obaba yento aso.
Well, let's leave it to the Supreme Court. I don't want to play clairvoyance, but I think we have a good case for the Supreme Court to consider. That's what we are doing. We don't know what the Supreme Court will do, and you don't want to play lottery with this very sensitive case.
But Counsel, regarding the decision by the judge, he cited 2 conflicting authorities and decisions by the Supreme Court, for which reason he used his discretion to refuse your application. How does that come to you, seeing that you chose to walk out when really he used discretion?
What discretion is on this matter, in which there is an old authority, the Supreme Court has departed from the authority, and the Supreme Court in 2020 is asserting that when there is a pending application for prohibition, and the lawyer tells the judge looking after the affairs of the case that, look, adjourn the case and let's wait for the Supreme Court to determine the matter. And if the judge should not do that, it implies that the judge is biased. If you see the Supreme Court decision and don't want to respect it, I can't force him to obey the Supreme Court, which is at the summit of the justice delivery system. Okay. I think we'll have our day in the Supreme Court.
Okay. That's the wish of the best.